What's going on, everybody? My name is C4. Welcome back to the channel. And today we're for a brand new Madden 25 off-season rebuild of the New Orleans Saints. This has been the top requested team for a video or two now, and man, oh man, I see why. Taking a look at this roster, this is probably the worst roster, the worst franchise situation in the NFL. Today's video, we are going to be trying to get a Super Bowl in 5 seasons. If we can't, kind of an L, but we will go to overtime, extra innings, whatever you want to call it, 6 years, up to 10 years, and we're probably going to need it with the state of this roster to turn this New Orleans Saints team into a Super Bowl contender. Now, through the power of some Ultimate Rookie mods and some other PC mods, giving you guys the best rebuild experience right now on YouTube, we got Tyler Shough, who, it was pretty funny on draft day, I think. Maybe the funniest bit on social media was Saint fans crashing out after the selection of Shough with Shedeur Sanders on the board. Is he Brandon Weeden 2.0, a 25, soon-to-be 26-year-old, I think he hits 26 during his rookie season, quarterback, who was, here's a thought for you, he was supposed to be the successor to Justin Herbert at Oregon. Herbert's been in the league for, it feels like 5, 6, 7 years now. That's kind of bizarre, but if you had to take a step back and look at Shough as a quarterback prospect, you know, he was in the discussion for a top 3 QB in this class. His skill set, I think by most accounts, he had the best arm. I think we're just going off straight up throw power, 93 throw power. He put up like a 9.6 RAS score, so he's a good athlete as well, 84 speed, 87 acceleration. But you also need to be a realist. And is there a gigantic gulf in talent between him and someone like a Spencer Rattler? Spencer Rattler was a 5-star recruit coming out of high school, was on QB1 Netflix series, had some ups and downs, flirted with first-round quarterback prospect, and then ultimately kind of crashed and burned a little bit. So I think the quarterback situation here is as bad as, you know, it's probably between the Saints and Steelers for the worst quarterback situation in the NFL right now. And Kellen Moore, the new head coach coming over from the Philadelphia Eagles, is going to have to move mountains to probably get one of these guys to develop. But hey, we got the 2026 realistic class, 2027 realistic class of quarterbacks. Maybe that's where we need to go look to find our quarterback. But, I mean, it doesn't get much better. Alvin Kamara. Love Alvin Kamara. He was probably one of my steals in fantasy football last year. I did not give up. Everyone was writing him off, and he's surely at that age going to watch. He was outstanding. Kind of, you know, like any veteran, fell off when the season became a wash the last month or so. But, I mean, he's still a very talented running back at his age. But for the sake of this rebuild, where we're looking at 5 years, probably not going to be a part of, hopefully, the Super Bowl contending Saints team. You look at the offensive line's probably one of the high points. You know, Fuaga, franchise tackle for sure. McCoy, I was very surprised to see him have a superstar dev. I'm not going to complain. Ruiz is solid. You get Kelvin Banks in the first round out of Texas. We'll have him at right tackle. That works out after the retirement of Ryan Ramczyk. I think the O-line is one of the only, and probably the only, like, you feel decent about this going forward for me looking at it as a rebuild. You have Taysom Hill. You know, tight end room is, it could be worse, could be better. Both these guys, where are they going to be come year 5 of this rebuild? Probably not on the roster. You look at the receiving room. They bring back Brandon Cooks. You got Rashid Shaheed, who's just, you know, interesting deep threat. But, I mean, even he, what is he, 27? You know, when come year 5, he's going to be 32. He's going to be well already on his way as far as regressing. Now, the savior of the offense from a Madden standpoint, in real life, unfortunately, like, some pretty serious head injury concerns with Olave. But Chris Olave is a damn good player. And at least starting out here in the offseason rebuild, got the nice tattoos with the tattoo mod. He is an 88 superstar. We're going to put the old C on his chest. Luckily, injuries won't play a part in this rebuild. And we needed that because, you know, when you can count on one hand the amount of, like, all right, who's going to be good in 5 years on this offense? We might not even have 5. You're in trouble. There is, we have so much freaking work to do. And I guess the only thing that's kind of cool is, like, I'm not going to likely invest any of my big splash picks on the offensive line, which is kind of like an unsexy pick. So most of our gets are going to be at skill positions, so that'll be fun as far as, like, bringing in rookies from 2026 and 2027. Looking at the defense, I get a little creative. I'm going to have Cam Jordan kind of be like a, you know, he's just going to wear a bunch of different hats on this defensive line, playing rotational pass rusher in the interior. Brian Breezy and Chase Young, those are kind of the two guys on the defensive line. They're like, you know, again, 5-year window. could be here, be contributors, be big-time players. You look at the back end here, you have Demario Davis, 90 superstar. I mean, I don't want to say we're going to be in fire sale mode because I know it'd just be already unbelievably frustrating if you're watching this as Saints fans and I trade away Cam Jordan, I trade away Demario Davis. But, I mean, a contender could give us right back. I probably won't, though. I probably won't, but I might. You have Werner. You got Stutzman, who I like getting out of Oklahoma at linebacker. So that's, we got some guys that could develop, but question marks at linebacker. Yeah, the Honey Badger is the best player in the secondary, and you might get 1 or 2 years out of him before he retires, in the same vein as a Demario Davis and a Cam Jordan. You get Justin Reed over from the Kansas City Chiefs. He's solid, but, I mean, he's pretty much at his ceiling now. Come year 5, he's going to be well on his way to progression. Our corner room is nothing too great outside of Kool-Aid McKinstry, who is going to be in the kind of the same vein as Brian Brees. He looks like a solid player now, and I am hoping we can roll a dev trade, we can get some good production, and maybe pop a superstar dev before too long. I like the addition of Jonas Sanker in the draft. He's going to be versatile. I'm actually going to have him play at the nickel to get him on the field because I think he should be, by the time Honey Badger retires, Sanker has the talent and capabilities to take over as a starter. But, I mean, other than that, I mean, it wasn't a crazy good draft class for the Saints. I feel like they got a lot of, 68, 67 to 69 type players, like guys that are like, oh, yeah, they could develop into something. But as far as game changers are concerned, pretty light draft class, terrible quarterback situation, limited skill position situation. We have our work cut out. This is probably the hardest rebuild in Madden 25 and will be our hardest offseason rebuild. Kick off the regular season on the road against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Most people watching this, if you are a Saint fan, you're not over the move of Tyler Shough. Let's give him a chance. When we first play Shock play to Shaheed. All right. Hell of a first pass. The Derek Carr approach. Just throw it down there. Shaheed or MVS is down there somewhere. I feel like that's been the Saints offense for the last 2 years. Clear after a Saints interception. Let's see if we can get a little magic. Let's see if we work Shough as an athlete. Look at that. Everyone forgets he can run. He's a stinky good athlete. 9.5 Raz. And he is in. A touchdown. It's like, oh, well, maybe we got something here. Maybe it's not going to be as bad. We've done pretty much nothing. We had that one rushing touchdown off the pick with Shough. But that was with favorable field position. And now we're in the 4th. Those have been our only scores. And now we're losing. So let's see if he can, get a game-winning drive here. Luckily, no turnovers. This team sucks. Oh, good play Olave getting into Bucs territory. It's time we look at Brandon Cooks. One of the most underrated wide receivers of all time. Oh, we got him! Gets free from Jamel Dean. And that could be a walk-off touchdown for the Saints. Let's see. God damn it. God damn it! We get one Hail Mary. Tyler Shough, NFL debut, played above expectations on the road against a playoff caliber Bucs team. We're going to try to, Shaheed's our deep threat. We just got a couple steamboats this. Ah, man. Damn it. 3 touchdowns, 2 through the air, 1 on the ground. No turnovers for Shough. And a valiant road loss to start his career and to start the season. I ain't mad at that. And look at that. Offensive Player of the Week in his NFL debut in an L. Tyler Shough, 297 yards, 18 to 26. Not the best. But he also chipped another 22 on the ground, so gives him with over 300 yards, 3 touchdowns in his debut. Just about midseason update. Big upgrade for Brian Brees, who is one of those young guys that I think is going to need to be counted on and kind of viewed as a pillar of this rebuild going forward. Very high ceiling. 15 TFLs, week 8, halfway through on pace for 30 in a season. He gets himself 3 points, and he's one of those rare ones where, like, I don't know if I really want to go down run stopper. I feel like power rusher, let's get a nice interior. I like to have 1 and 2. If I have 2 defensive tackles, which is what we're rocking with, I like one guy to kind of be the pass rusher, one guy to be the run stuffer. And I think with his skill set, I'm ready to commit on him being our interior pass rush, and we'll let someone else worry about being, you know, the guy that will stay at home and eat up the running backs and blocks. So we're at midseason, and we are 3-5. Our rankings are, you know, a top 15 in terms of pass yards. Our defense, in terms of yards against, is not brutal. I've seen worse. Considering I don't think there's a worse roster in the league than our team. 3-5, maybe slightly better than expected. Looking at our contracts, we have $105 million of available salary cap. We have a lot of old veteran players like Taysom Hill, probably end of the line there, unfortunately. Will Clapp, absolute mean. Cam Jordan, now this is one where, like, I'll extend the olive branch. He probably will retire, but he's such a legend. That's, oh man, at least I'll try to make it happen. But if he's going to be a little stingy about it, like here we got Demario Davis. He wants a 1-year 15. I'm not spending that money elsewhere. Bring him back. Keep him in the building. Rashid Shaheed's up for contract. We got the Honey Badger up for contract. I mean, if we'll take a 110, sure. Penning, yeah, we'll move on. Alante Taylor, I do like Alante Taylor. Love to keep him for the Cookie Monster. Shaheed, I like that he's only looking for a 2-year deal, which means I'm not going to have to worry about regression. 29 for a deep threat's probably when you want to, you know, view it as their expiration date. So a 2-year 21, I could probably get him 22. I would like to bring him back. We just lost to the Patriots, which sucks, but there's exactly why I'd like to bring and at least ensure that Cam Jordan retires a Saint. He's still playing really good football. There we go. 1-year, $9.2 million deal. As long as he doesn't retire this offseason, he'll be back to finish his career. It feels like it's generally been like a meh season from Tyler Shough. We are 6-8, which I think is, knowing that we're not good enough to make the playoffs, 6-8 is on track to just be annoyingly not bad enough to have a really fun draft pick. But anytime you get a win, you got to celebrate it. 31-24 over the Falcons, and we get the second Player of the Week award for Shough in his rookie campaign with 371 yards passing and a hat trick of touchdowns. And off that, the gamble to play Sanker as our starting slot corner yielded us 6 points. What we get is for 75 tackles in a season, almost 15,000. 10 PBUs in a season, almost 15,000, which is going to give our 72 overall rookie a, what is that? 6? That's how bad my eyes are. Is that 5 or 6? It's 6. We're going to up to a 78 scheme fit. Perfect. It's like another first-round pick. So at the end of year number 1, we go 7-10 on the regular season, which I think you could probably make the argument maybe a little bit better than expected. Did not expect our passing yards to be top 10, let alone closer to top 5 than it is top 10, which made me wonder, like, Shough actually play well? Kind of. You know, almost 4,400 yards, which is really good. 23 touchdowns at 13 picks, pedestrian, 61% completion percentage, less than ideal. 64 sacks, not necessarily his fault, but not great. The yards were nice. Running the ball, 1,000 yards for Alvin Kamara. Shough also chipped in with another 5 rushing touchdowns. He did fumble it 12 times, which is insane. So that's 25 fumbles, 25 turnovers, sorry. And, you know, almost 30. Wow, okay. Chris Olave went 1,100 yards, 2 touchdowns, 8-5 Brandon Cooks, 8-5 Rashid Shaheed, 7-4 Taysom Hill, 4-4 for Alvin Kamara. And on the defensive side of the ball, a tackle machine, Demario Davis, 180. Wow, wild that there's no TFLs there. But look at actually our TFL numbers. 23 TFLs, 10.5 sacks Cam Jordan, 34 TFLs, 7.5 sacks for Brian Breezy, 29 TFLs, 4.5 sacks for Carl Granderson. Chase Young was decent as well, but those TFL numbers are insane. Haven't seen numbers that high yet. I don't think in any of our rebuilds. The Honey Badger, ageless wonder. That's why we bring him back for 1 more year. Led the team with 4 picks. We had 2 picks, Justin Reed, and 1 pick, over 100 tackles for the very impressive rookie, Jonas Sanker. Probably is going to be in Offensive Rookie of the Year discussions. Damn. Say, hey, at number 3, for a guy that was, what, a 4th-round pick? Ain't too shabby. However, what? Tyler Shough with, I mean, his passing yards are really good, but with, you know, 28 total touchdowns, 25 total turnovers. Shocked that he got offensive rookie. That might be a dev trade. He might get a star dev at 26 years old. I don't know. Cool. Cool. Hey, cool. We're not here just to crap all over the pick. We're here trying to make the best of a bad situation, and for whatever it's worth, it helps. It's only going to help going forward. Damn, unfortunately, at year's end, the great Cam Jordan retires after 15 seasons. But for our team, as we look at the offense, Tyler Shough, for winning Offensive Rookie of the Year, does make the jump from normal up to a star dev, which is pretty sick. Kelvin Banks was our hidden dev rookie. The tackle out of Texas is a star dev as well. No dev trait regression anywhere on the offense, which I thought, I mean, Taysom Hill's going to leave. But between Hill and Kamara in particular, we're going to lose devs. We keep them, so that's cool. On the defensive side of the ball, Brian Breezy makes the jump from star up to a superstar dev, very much deservedly so. Pete Warner makes the jump from normal up to a star. Would rather that go to Stutzman, as he is obviously the rookie with a little bit more upside. But at the end of the day, I mean, Breezy, he's been the star. He's been stealing the show. Unreal TFL numbers. Hopefully he continues. Especially with Cam Jordan retiring. It's your defense now, bud. Little annoying that he's peaking right before contract time, but we're going to decline his 5th-year option and get ahead of, I mean, this is going to be something we have to do like week 2, week 3, if notice the price is going to go up a lot. If I can get him around 70, laughing. So we have about $90 million of cap. So going into our first offseason, be it free agency and the draft, I would say guard. Getting a left guard would be important. I would say tight end, if there's BPA, would be wise. Definitely would want to look at a wide receiver. If BPA ends up being running back maybe in the draft, I don't know. Like I like Devin Neal. I thought that was a good value pick out of Kansas. Could we do better? Could we have someone with more upside? Is this a scheme that is going to use a running back? I'm going to make the assumption it will. So, you know, a true Alvin Kamara successor certainly needs to be on board. But in terms of gotta have it, a guard. We need a left guard. Defensively, a D tackle would be nice. You know, Demario Davis got 1 more year left. So, off-ball linebacker. Corner, certainly a big need. We could probably do with 2 corners, ideally. So it wasn't the best free agency class for those 2 positions, but I got 2 kind of buy low players. Kyer Leland, former 1st-round pick of the Buffalo Bills, 25-78, no dev trait. That is more than good enough to start as a corner for us and potentially go up a dev trait, especially with the rate that our DBs get tackles. Maybe a little Florida Gator bias in there. And then we need a guard. I got Cole Strange on a 2-year deal. 28 years old. He was an old rookie. Very weird pick. Kind of symbolizes the end of the Bill Belichick era in New England. But 28-76, not brutal. Stopgap, so I don't want to invest a pick in the offensive line until maybe we get to the generated Madden classes where guards are a little bit more sexy to find in that 2nd, 3rd, 4th round range. And he should be solid for the next 2 years. So take a look at the final mock draft. This is such a weird spot, dude. I'm going to be honest. In my head, this was Garrett Nussmeier, Cade Klubnik. That was my plan for this rebuild. Tyler Shough 1 year. Probably wasn't going to be great. Go grab a quarterback. I've yet to grab a big-name quarterback in any of these offseason rebuilds. Of course, Shough had to win off. Like, I can't. There's no way in keeping some sense of realism would a team with a quarterback, regardless of how undeserving, wins Offensive Rookie of the Year, is going to give up on him after 1 year. So, of course, that happened. We are projected to select at number 9. We have a top 10 pick. Drew Aller off the board. We already did the Drew Aller Saints rebuild. Go check that out. I did scout TJ. I mean, we're in a weird spot, too, where we honestly might just need BPA. We got Dennis Sutton at pass rush. We did just lose, you know, Cam Jordan. Trey Anderson's up there in age. Like, pass rush probably is the best course here. Klubnik still on the board at 13. Now, this is something we need to remind because, look, I can't go quarterback. I just can't. But if Shough sucks again next year, and we look at quarterback next year, and then you see Cade Klubnik taking the Raiders to the Super Bowl, taking the Raiders as the next legit AFC contender, it's going to be a pivotal moment in this video. because we had to do the realistic thing. Couldn't do what I wanted. Nussmeier to a lesser extent. I mean, so yeah. I mean, pass rush makes the most sense for our top 10 selection, and best available for said pass rush lines up to be Dennis Sutton from Penn State, next in line of great Penn State edge rushers going to the NFL. Now, I'll say this. I'm glad the final mock draft lied to me. There is no temptation. There's 0.00000% chance that even if there was a quarterback on the board, maybe you could justify, like, you know what, let's get an insurance. An expensive insurance option, but if Shough doesn't work out, I'll get Cade Klubnik here. Not even a chance. Drew Aller goes 2 to the Jets. Cade Klubnik goes 7 to the Steelers. No quarterback on the board that I would love. Nussmeier, I mean, he's just a guy that I'm kind of low on the process, but eventually he'll be in a video. But not at that price point. Very expensive. You had to be very desperate to want to do that. Now, I did focus scout running backs, and Jeremiah Love's a top 5 talent. We also got Mekhi Hughes, the Tulane transfer, is a round 1 talent at running back. I think there's better value there because I'm optimistic I could get him in the 2nd round. That could be our Alvin Kamara successor. And, you know, Love, even though he's a baller, even though we know he's a baller, that's pretty expensive. Maybe if he falls out of the 1st round. But you never know with running backs. Eli Stowers would make sense. We used him in the rebuild not too long ago with the Falcons. Made just some diabolical offense with 2 tight ends, and both the tight ends were getting 1,000 yards. Go check out Falcons offseason rebuild if you've missed it. But, yeah, I mean, honestly, it is lining up on the defensive side of the ball. Peter Wood's a D tackle. We do need a D tackle, but I don't need a big dog at D tackle. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're good. We got our dude. So I think Dennis Sutton makes the most sense here. 3 Bs and an A. Combine. Pretty good. Not your, like, true freak of nature Penn State pass rusher. But I think edge is a position we need to get younger at. Edge is a position we need to find a successor at. And he might just be that. 16th in true value at number 9. 87 acceleration, 85 speed, 82 strength. Very well-rounded athlete. Could probably use a little bit better change of direction. But that's a solid pick. But I'm just skipping pick by pick by pick by pick by pick by pick. If Jeremiah Love is still there with pick 1 of the 2nd round, I will jump up 8 spots to go get him. And unless the Bills just got him, let's see, Bills selection. Let's go. Actually, you know what? I want to overthink this. Because the Texans don't need a running back. The Jets don't need a running back. Now, that might make it a little more affordable. Rule of 5 spots is going to cost us our 4th round pick this year. I'm not going to say expensive. I feel like that's probably right around the value. Bears might not have ever drafted Jeremiah Love. I feel like he would with that Ben Johnson offense. But for him falling in our lap, top 5 talent at running back, a true Alvin Kamara successor, Jeremiah Love, number 4 in true value, getting him at pick 35. 92 acceleration, 90 speed, 80 strength, 88 agility, 98 jumping. Some of the most ridiculous hurdles you'll see on a highlight reel. Hell yeah. What's the catching? B, not bad. I want to get that compliment to Brian Breezy. Need a run defender, nose tackle type, and Dominique Orange, who has A block shed, B tackle. It's kind of the best traits. He has B power move. Everything else is kind of low. I like seeing a low awareness. But big time run defender, 162 at 73 is a little expensive, but he does pop with a dev trait. 86 strength, a little low as well for a 325 pounder. But a dev trait is nice, and I'll put in real nice right next to Brian Breezy. He'll do the ugly work, let Breezy get out to the quarterback. So take a look at our draft recap. When all is said and done, Dennis Sutton, 74 with a dev trait pass rusher at pick 9. Not bad. Jeremiah Love being aggressive, trading up in the 2nd round to get the 77 overall dev trait running back. Absolute value. Orange, 68 with a dev trait. I got Lake McCree, depth tight end in the 5th round. Aiden Fisher, 69 linebacker from Indiana. And we finish with Bert Auburn at kicker, 70. All those guys normal, but all those guys close to a 70 overall. So I can see at some point in time, all of them contributing at some point because our roster still kind of sucks. We're here early in the season, as I stated, because we have Brian Breezy's massive contract extension. We're 0-3. So, I mean, it's It's very early. We can win and play ourselves out of position. But what if, just hypothetically speaking, is best case scenario for Saint fans, what if Tyler Shough can be decent enough in his rookie campaign to get Offensive Rookie of the Year, right? And then bad enough and come, crashing back down to reality enough where they tank his second season to get Arch Manning. Could you deal with that? Well, looking at our contracts, we're going to start. We get Demario Davis, $15 million at 1 year. I don't have the depth at linebacker that if he's going to keep coming back, I'm going to keep paying him. Like, that's inverse of, unfortunately, like a honey badger. That's a reasonable contract. So, maybe we'll pay all the old heads and just keep the vibe strong because we have so much money. Pete Kamara for a 1 year, $5 million deal, even though he's now clearly RB2 behind Jeremiah Love. 5 year, $110 million contract extension with Chris Olave to lock in our wide receiver 1 for the rest of his prime. 6 year, $162 million contract to our superstar D lineman Brian Brzee. Of course, as soon as I said, hey, maybe we'll tank, we beat the Raiders and probably gonna go on a win streak now. Fucking way, no fucking. We had the first pick in the draft, 2 wins. We win against the Falcons. There's no way, dude. I bet you. Do they need a quarterback? I feel like they got a quarterback. Please have a quarterback. We're fine. Okay, we're fine. Choked the first pick. But we're fine. I don't think we're going to be in competition there for a QB. 3-14. Still, passing offense, not like it stands out. Maybe not as good as it was last year, but 14th in the league. So that Kellen Moore offense kind of shines through. But 3-14 is a very disappointing season in a year that we're probably perfectly fine with it being a disappointment. I still can't believe that, dude. Just tank for the 1 pick. Don't make me worry. Because we trust that mock draft. And watch who the Jets. Well, you got mock draft 3 right now. That's a pretty good option right now. That was the last mock draft. We are not going Jeremiah Smith. We are going top quarterback. I mean, we'd have been good anyways. I find this fake news. You're going to follow this and you're going to see the quarterbacks go top 3. But Arch Manning is going 25th. Yeah, right. Arch Manning will be going pick 2 overall. Thank you, Tyler. Hey, we might be able to get something for Tyler Shough. Maybe not, actually. It's more the same. Last year, he finished with almost as many turnovers as he had touchdowns. This year, more interceptions than passing touchdowns. The completion percentage is right on. He was 61%, 62%. The sacks are as bad as they were a year ago. The yards are in line with where they were a year ago. He gave us nothing in the run game. Very disappointing to see that from Jeremiah Love. Top 5 talent we got in the second round. Got a skill point there. He's hit with a -4 morale hit. He still is, under the hood, an 81 overall, only a star def. So we didn't get a generous dev trait roll there. I can't believe we choked the first pick. Oh my God. I think I got the first pick once in all of my rebuilds this year. It doesn't matter. It's literally, I get regardless. First, second, third, fourth, any pick in the top 5, I'm getting who I wanted. Just give me the first pick for once. Chris Olave was sick, 105 catches, almost 1,500 yards and 6 touchdowns. Shaheed was decent, just nothing else outside of that. Defensively, Davis tackle machine. We got 25 TFLs, 6 sacks for the rookie, Dennis Sutton, 30 TFLs. Probably want to see a little bit more sacks from the superstar Brian Brzee, but that's still outstanding. Orange, the rookie out of Iowa State, 54 tackles, 21 TFLs, 3.5 sacks. So really happy with those 3 numbers. And on the picks front, 4 picks from Reed, 3 from Kool-Aid McKinstry, 1 from our free agency signing, Kaiir Elam. We get a clean sweep. Jeremiah Love wins Offensive Rookie of the Year with Danny Dennis Sutton winning Defensive Rookie of the Year, Orange at number 3. One thing that needs to be said is the Patriots, a team that is right up there. I've been looking through the comments at who we should rebuild next. Patriots are neither. They won the Super Bowl in year 2. What? But for our squad, take a look at the dev traits. Jeremiah Love for winning Offensive Rookie of the Year gets the Superstar dev, which is generous. you know, a little bit of an underwhelming rookie season for him. And with where we're going to be picking, Tyler Shough is a 76 star dev. There might be some trade value there. Don't know what we're going to get. He's 27 years old, but there might be something there, which any value would be cool. Dennis Sutton for getting defensive rookie of the year. No dev trade, not automatic. It kind of sucks. Brian Bresee is up to an X factor. So that contract extension looks good. We lose the superstar on Demario Davis, but he doesn't retire. Potentially returning for, how do you know what year it would be? 15? Year 16 potentially on the books. And as I saw, free safety Jonas Sanker is up to a star dev. Nice. Mr. Demario Davis not retiring. Wants to go for 2,000 tackles before he does hang it up. What a legend. For our contracts, we're going to start by declining the 5th-year option of Fuaga, who's every bit a franchise tackle for us. I want to get him locked into a long-term extension. Granderson's been a solid player, but I think with how our defensive line is set up, he's kind of unnecessary depth at this point. So we'll go with the Young Bucks, with Chase Young and Dennis Sutton. We're able to stipe a 3rd-round pick next year from the Arizona Cardinals for Tyler Shough. They're very uncertain about the future of Kyler Murray there, so bringing in another star dev quarterback, it's their dilemma to deal with. Very happy to get a 3rd-rounder next season. Probably could have got more, maybe. Star dev, only 2 years removed from Offensive Rookie of the Year, but considering he finished year 2 with more turnovers and touchdowns, I'll take a 3rd every day and kind of just recoup the pick of Tyler Shough. Take a look at the final mock draft. Jeremiah Smith is going 1 overall to the Jets. They got Drew Aller last year, so that should be a hell of a tandem. We're projected to go Ryan Williams. It's never a bad selection, but we are going to be going quarterback 1 in this scenario, which is still absolutely bizarre that he's going to 19. I guess the next exciting thing, though, like, who is going to fall to us in the 2nd round? I love a wide receiver. Of course, one I scouted. Looks like he's going to go 1st round. Kevin Concepcion. We could use tight end. We need playmakers. Look, we got a couple tight ends sneaking in the 1st round. Brutal! It all starts here. The mock draft didn't lie to us. Jeremiah Smith goes 1st overall, which means 2nd overall. Couldn't have written it any better. I don't know if I maybe I did this. Oh, it was just Drew Aller. That's the only Saints rebuild we've done was Drew Aller. And it worked out well. All I remember from that is Drew Aller played so well that I gave him the biggest contract I've ever given any player in a rebuild. It was like $600 million. So a quarterback can thrive here in New Orleans. And what about probably the most dream pick for the Saints of all time? Arch Manning, a Manning. All A's. Arch Manning, 4.5 speed. Now, good throw power, little concerning. I don't know necessarily you give him elite, but I feel like great should be in the ballpark. Definitely, and also not a top 5 talent, only a round 1 talent. So hype in this class a little bit lower than maybe consensus right now for Arch Manning. Let's just rip the Band-Aid off. What? In what world is he 13th in true value? At number 2. Okay, interesting. But the Arch Manning era has begun in New Orleans. He's still going to be a baller. 13th, that means he's still, you know, he's going to be like a realistic quarterback rating. He's not going to get like an 82, 83. But, you know, I'm anticipating like in the mid-70s, which is great. Great starting spot. No worries about it. The 2nd pick of the 2nd round. Wow, still a whole bunch of quarterbacks. We need, looking at my team, we need a pass catcher. At tight end, we got a couple here. Jack Endries from Cal's a 1st, 2nd round talent. We have Luke Hage from Ole Miss, who also could be considered. Endries here with B catching, A catching, and 104. He might be there in the 3rd round. Maybe that's going to be the play, because we need wide receiver as well. Looking at what we got. Get Jacoby Lane from USC, 6'4", 195, so a different body type than what we have. He's our best scouted available. Elite jumping, 40-inch vert, which I do like. B awareness, which means his rating is probably going to be decent. C catching, C route running. I'll make this pick, and we got to get that tight end when we want. 51 in true value at 34, so it's a reach. But he is a dev trait wide receiver, a 6'4" wide receiver with 94 jumping at minimum. This guy's going to be dominant in the red zone. Not quite the same as choking the first overall pick, but Luke Hash, the first round tight end, was still there at the first pick of the third. I was like, oh, well, he's going to fall to us. Jets just got the dude for Mason Taylor. They don't need a tight end, and they fucking snipe a tight end right in. I mean, we still get the guy we scouted. That's just annoying, because, I mean, even Hash didn't scout him. First rounder, he's going to be good. But we're going to get Jack Endries, the tight end from Cal. 47 to true value at 66. Hey, roll the depth. Hey, no complaints. I bet Hash is probably, at worst, like similar area code of talent and dev trait. Everything's coming up, Saints. Fourth round, we go Whit Weeks, LSU, Louisiana kid at linebacker, especially with, Demario Davis, probably last year. I'll be surprised if he keeps on keeping on. Would be cool to see him get 2,000 tackles. 168 in true value at 98. A little bit of a reach. He was a top middle linebacker available. Dev trait. Hell yeah. Right now, this is obviously with Arch Manning, but this, like, overall, 1, 2, 3, 4 dev trait players. This is the kind of draft that can quickly and, like, shave off a year that it takes to go and rebuild a team to a Super Bowl contender. If all these guys hit. So take a look at our draft recap. Arch Manning comes in as a 75 dev trait, which I think by probably most standards, a little bit on the low end. I think most draft class out there would have a much higher, but maybe this is more realistic for I think the 91 throw power is a little sus. But all things considered, that's an outstanding starting point, and he's already, only 1 overall point lower than where Tyler Shough was, and he's 6 years younger. So that is certainly a help. Jacoby Lane, 71 with the dev trait. Endry, 72 with the dev trait. Week 68 with a dev trait, and then we round out the class. Boyd Matthews, 67. Aaron Anderson, I thought he was going to be a lot better. This guy has potential first-round buzz out of LSU. Only a 66, but a premier athlete. And then we got a 65 there for Logan Fano. Decent pass rush for Utah. Another guy that I thought there's going to be a lot of value between these two productive college players. Not necessarily the case, but 4 hidden dev players. And we get the golden child at quarterback. Hell of a class. So something I'm going to just say right now. It's not going to be for this video, but I can clean it up. So if you guys want to see it included, I have a 2028 realistic class that we could use if we wanted to. Now, I do love getting to the Madden Generate class as soon as we can because I can dominate those ones. But there are fun players because these aren't my classes or anything like that. There are some players. I'm looking at quarterback like Lenore Sellers, Sam Levitt. Those are guys that could go in 2026 as redshirt sophomores. The likelihood is they'll probably go 2027. But in these classes, they actually fall to the 2028 class. But they're fun players that I think some people may want to see in a rebuild at some point. Plus, Bryce Underwood, who could be the next big superstar at Michigan. So this class does exist, I will say, for me personally. As much as I love college football and watch college football, I don't, this is where, it starts to drop off a little bit for, guys. I know DeCorian Moore, 5-star for Oregon, right? He's familiar. Terry Bussey, I know who he is. But, we're getting to the spot, you're in the weeds a little bit, where, what is the gigantic difference between using these and just generated players for most people that are watching my videos. But if you want to see me go into the 2028 world, like Okanula, you got Bryce Young there, got some Rusaw is a big dog for the Alabama Crimson Tide, Miles Graham, my Florida Gators, Josiah Trotter, another one of the Jeremiah Trotter disciples. You got Devin Sanchez, we got Mbakwe from Alabama, who's a big-time player right now. So if you guys want to see go to 2028, let me know in the comment section below, and that's something I could consider for future off-season rebuilds. But for right now, we are just going to go with a auto-generated draft class. This looks kind of cool, pretty cool. But we're not going to be picking. Don't even learn the names of these guys up here because we have Arch Manning at quarterback. We're going to make the playoffs here. We're not going to be picking top 10. We're not going to be picking top 15. We're going to be picking 32. So week 1, we get the NFL debut of Arch Manning against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at home in the Superdome. The Superdome is going to be a rockin'. Let's just unleash him on the league right now. 5 touchdowns, no picks. Undefeated season, loading. You go, Arch, looking like $1 million. Let Baker Mayfield know. This is your division now. Oh, look, we're going to get them come out. Chorus of boos to the Bucks. No one cares. Bucky Irvin, suck it. Baker Mayfield, suck it. Because we're about to debut the most iconic, probably, I think, in terms of hype. Maybe not expectations. It's going to be tough to, trump the Andrew Luck, Trevor Lawrence. But as hype, is there going to be a more hyped NFL debut when it happens than Arch Manning? Probably not. Here we go. First passing attempt for Arch. Who's going to get it? Lane, Olave, Rashid, Endries. You got Love out the... I kind of like Love out the backfield here. Could be the surprise play. Got him. He has a step. Prolific speed. Jeremiah Love. That's the role he needs. He has to take over the Alvin Kamara do-it-all weapon out of the backfield. I need more of that. A lot of mesh plays here. I mean, it's the Eagles playbook, so that's kind of sick. That's why I'm vibing with it. Come on, Arch. Boom. Lane gets popped. Don't matter. First career touchdown for the USC wideout. Oh, we got Love. Dude, man, that's just too much speed. He's too good of an athlete that if you put him one-on-one with a linebacker, game over every time. Second big receiving touchdown for the running back. Oh! All right, here we go again. Just like meta cheese playbook. We're going to go right to Andries and get him his first career touchdown. Everybody's getting Love as we're beating up on an old Bucks team. Vita Vea, old. Winfield, old. Levante David, retired. Todd Bowles, washed. Now, I'm not going to act like our defense literally stopped playing. 34-34. Awesome. Awesome. We still got 3 timeouts. 1 shot play. Get us in field goal range. Get out of here with a win. All about who wants it. Boom. We're going to go right here to Jacoby Lane. What does that put us? 4 touchdowns on the day. No turnovers for Arch Manning. 11-17. And that is going to put us in a field goal at 57 yards. Come on, dude. We're in a dome! Underneath. Chris Olave. I want touchdown. No field goals. No huddle. Don't even let the coach suggest it. We're going to go post rail. We got 6'4" Lane with 90-some jumping. Maybe that's where we got to go. Nope. We're going to go Olave again, just underneath. Patience is key. The poise from the rookie to walk off win in the Superdome. We're the beginning of legendary shit here, ladies and gentlemen. Now, if our defense keeps playing like that, maybe not. But at least offensively, legendary shit. Well, what if I told you that was going to be our only fucking win for the first half of the season? What are we doing here? Flog a 5-year 180. Franchise tackle. Got to do it. Kool-Aid McKinstry locked into a 5-year. Best corner on our team. Highest upside corner on our team. The superstar center Eric McCoy locked in for 4 years. He should retire a Saint. 3-year deal for the star dev Ruiz. Locked in. Now, it's everyone else. I mean, like, Chase Young's kind of been fine. But at 28, I think it might be time maybe to look at elsewhere, especially if we're going to have a high pick. Maybe that's where we go get a pass rusher. Justin Reed's been solid, but there's no interest. I'd have to overpay for a 30-year-old safety. Not in love with that. Rashid Shaheed, we signed him to a 2-year deal 2 years ago, knowing that at the end of that contract, that's kind of when speed guys fall off a cliff. Werner's just a guy. Johnson, we have his successor in place. So, looking at the board here, I will offer Demario Davis as he chases 2,000 career tackles. But I think at this point in time, even though we have an insane amount of money, we probably, looking at these dudes. I mean, I like Alvin Kamara. Let's there's no problem with him being our RB2 if he wants to come back. And while we're on pace to go 3 and 4 wins, whatever we had last year, we're still in the same ballpark, which sucks. But, hey, Dominique Orange, the emerging D-tackle next to Brian Breezy here with a Player of the Week performance. Good for him. And actually, he's been popping off. He got 3 skill points right now for hitting 5 sacks in a season. And a couple weeks ago, look, 15 TFLs, week 10, got another 12,000 XP. So he is absolutely off to the races, well into the 80s. So the good news at season's end is, well, Arch Manning finishes with 3 points upgrade, so he'll be an 83. Andrews at tight end finishes with a 3-point upgrade, so he'll be an 83. The bad news is we're back to exactly where we started year one with Tyler Shough. Arch Manning in his rookie campaign equals Shough at going 7-10, except our passing yards are way worse than what they were with Shough. Our pass defense is pretty damn good, but all things considered, just not a bad year. Like, that's a solid rookie season. Around 4,000 yards passing, 25 touchdowns, 14 picks. It's not generational, but I mean, nothing about Arch Manning was generational. He does pop with a superstar dev trait, which is nice. But, you know, I bet many thought as soon as I drafted Arch Manning, this rebuild was probably going to go a little bit different. And I mean, 5 of those touchdowns were what we threw week 1. So, I mean, his stat line might have been slightly inflated by that. Jeremiah Love had a hell of a year, 1,000 yards, 10 touchdowns. Arch Manning, you know, giving us some dual threat ability. I think that's what he will also bring to the NFL when it's time. 1,100 yards, 9 touchdowns for Olave. We got 7-3 from Andrews, 5-6 from Lane, 3-3 from Love. Again, he got most of that in that first game as well. Just need to get a little bit more balance. D-line, I mean, 12 TFLs, 9 sacks from Chase Young as he hits free agency. 24 TFLs, 9 sacks from Orange. 26 TFLs, 8 sacks from Breezy. So that is dominating. Love that. Sutton with a solid year. 52 tackles, 15 TFLs, 5.5 sacks. Like to see him get double-digit sacks, but to process. 8 picks by the Honey Badger in his final season. Good for him, man, going out. I mean, that would be so much better if it was literally anybody else we could utilize, but hey, the vet's showing out here. In case they both retire, we'll do them due respect. Honey Badger had 48 career picks, over 1,000 tackles, and it would be cool to see Demario Davis come back for one more year because he certainly would get. I'd start him. I'll put it that way. I would start him even if he's not the best rated. To see, I don't think I've ever had a guy get 2,000 career tackles outside of like maybe some of those 20-year rebuilds we did. I think Julius Peppers had something crazy like that. Luke Kuechly had something crazy like that, but not in like a regular Madden rebuild. But similarly to Tyler Shough, Arch Manning wins Offensive Rookie of the Year. We have Lane and Andrews also making the top 5, but we needed that for Arch. And hey, there's a chance. Small chance, don't think it'll happen. Could be an X factor. Could get that free dev trait increase. Which would be sick. That season end for our dev traits. Yep. We got our 3 superstars there, which you feel pretty decent about. Andrews, hidden dev, star. Lane, hidden dev, just a star. On the defensive side of the ball, no dev traits up or down. We lose the star on Davis. Hopefully he doesn't retire. Even though I'm not super optimistic, but we'll see if he'll want to return for 2K tackles. Ooh, damn, we have to click into retirements. You got Honey Badger retiring, Alvin Kamara retiring, Demario Davis all retiring. And the top stories there. And, hey, legends. Hell of a career. For us to start the offseason, declining the 5th-year option on Kelvin Banks, who's more than developed into an outstanding tack for us. We want to get ahead of that mega extension next season. You know what? Justin Reed only regressed 2 points from 87 to 85. I have no problem bringing him back for a team. We have so much cap money. Might as well spend it somewhere. Now that we kind of have the pillars in place, where do we need to go? Well, need a guard. Need a pass rusher. I think, you know, we got Whitweeks, Fisher. Like, our linebacking core will look like this. 76, 71. Stutzman got the dead trade. Like, it's not, I would say, an immediate priority. We could let the young guys play and see what they could give us. Got Reed back for a 2-year deal, but I mean, could look for maybe an upgrade down the line. Corner. So yeah, I'd say corner, edge are our 2 big needs, and then guard and maybe a 3rd wide receiver on offense. And on offensive free agency, did not get any good roles. Takes 2 to tango. Nothing at wide receiver. Literally nothing even remotely interesting at guard. On the defensive side, looking for a pass rusher. I hate going to free agency for a pass rusher because, you know, just so expensive. Luckily, you know, of course, when you look at it, oh, of course, Chase Young might be the best available pass rusher in all of free agency, so that's fantastic. And looking at corner, pretty bad. Doesn't get much better. So a terrible role for us. Take a look at the final mock draft here for 2028. Our needs, big needs, guard, but I don't really want to go guard in the first round. Secondary, big needs. We need a pass rusher and a corner. You can usually find corners growing on trees. For us, we are picking at 7. I don't really want to go corner. Missing out on Sam Fire, who is the projected top pass rusher. Darius Foot's there as well. I focus scouted Cam Lawrence. He looks like a beast from a speed rusher. We also scouted Larry Matthews from Clemson, who's a legit round 1 talent as well. So we got an interesting decision to make. Probably Combine will separate those two, but for the guys that look good on paper, we're going to have our pick of the litter for a pass rusher at 7. Matthews is probably the guy that's most likely going to be there. A power move, A tackle, has elite strength, good speed, great acceleration. Just not too bad. B awareness, A power, A tackle, B pursuit. Finesse move's kind of dog crap. But that's a nice pick. Or we can look at Lawrence, who's a little bit more highly regarded. A pursuit, B tackle. He has A awareness, A finesse move, A pursuit, C man coverage, B tackle, C power move. So he's a little bit more well-rounded. Combine, it's pretty much a push, I think, all things considered. I'd love to get Lawrence. Mock drafts, he should be there, but I'm not going to be losing my mind if that mock draft lied to us and we got to grab the dude from Clemson. The mock draft did not lie, and we're going to be able to go and select Mr. Cam Lawrence. I think you just run that one to the podium. Damn it. I wish that was a little bit better, but I wasn't expecting him to be top 5 talent because we had him fully scouted. 19, however, is a little bit on the lower side for a guy that's like a legit first rounder. But he does pop with a hidden dev trait. 89 acceleration, 85 speed, 79 strength. I think him and Dennis Sutton should make an excellent 1-2 punch off the edge. So we have a couple options at guard. Need a starting guard, so I don't hate investing a second round pick. There's not like that slam dunk. I don't have anyone that has both the pass and run block that I'm looking for. I don't have the grade there for Wheeler. At best, it's a C. But he looks pretty good. We also have here on Levi Richardson. He has the straight up just A pass block. Dominant pass blocker. Pretty bad bench press, so I don't love 31 reps. We look at the other side. We have Hadley, who's more of a run block guy. We have Dwight Miles, who has the A pass block. If he has good strength, even then, man, a little bit underwhelming strength. What's Hadley? Does he have strength? Dog shit strength as well. What are the corners looking like? Maybe it's not time to get a guard. At corner. A couple guys here. B-man. Ooh. BC DeMarcus. I like that. That's a day 3 pick. Man, we're in a tough spot. I am not loving the board. As far as wide receiver, I got a couple speed guys. Keaton has a lot of speed. This guy late. Kawhi McKenzie, 6'6". I'll just go with the top guard here, I guess. 344, 41, 39. Gets the dev trait. You live with that. Especially for like kind of a blind pick. I think we get a couple wide receivers in the pipeline. Braden Keaton. Looks real good. Has 4.2 speed. Let me just make sure that corner that actually had the B and C's is still there. I think he is. This guy, DeMarco Hooks. B-man, C-press, C-zone. Oh, dog shit athlete. That's kind of what's going on there. But I have 2 wide receivers I like. This is the only corner I like. 96 at 71. No dev trait. But 96, he'll be 70 plus, I think. And with our second, third round pick, we'll get Keaton. The speedy wide receiver, 71 in true value at 77. No dev trait, but that's a hell of an athlete. So take a look at our draft recap. Hell of a draft. 75 dev trait pass rusher at pick 7. Got a 73 dev trait guard at pick 7 in the second round, which was a need. Corner 70, wide receiver 72. Now here's where he got a little cute. In the 4th round, I just kind of was like, you know what? That 6'6" wide receiver will be there probably in the 5th. They called my bluff. He unfortunately was not, so now I got to go find him. Looking overall at the class, no real generational guy. I will say, anytime you get an 80 overall player in the second round, hell of a pick there from the Cowboys. But I need to look here in the 4th round. McKenzie, there he is. Going course to the Eagles. No dev trait. I got to live with that. I mean, it still would have been fun to have a 6'6", 210-pound wide receiver with 95 agility, 94 acceleration, 91 speed, 97 change of direction, 99 juke move, 98 kick return. Guy's just comically built, but I'm not going to lose any sleep over that. So let's go to year number 4 of this rebuild. No success through 3 seasons. I feel like should be good now. There's not a whole lot that I see concerning on the offense. This should be a top 10 offense in the league. You look at the defense, had some turnover, right? No more Demario Davis, no more Honey Badger. But we have guys. It's time for the X Factor Breezy to step up. It's time for our 2 new pass rushers to get those double-digit sacks. It's time for these linebackers to make the most of their opportunity. Our safety room is legit. Should be a top 15 defense. Top 10 offense, top 15 defense. Should net at minimum our first above 500 season. If not, here in year 4, can we sneak into the wild card? Can we maybe sneak away an NFC South title? Maybe. We need Arch Manning to carry, but he has more than enough talent to do so. It's a 1-1 start. No idea how the season's going to go, but it is our earliest opportunity to open up contract negotiations with Kelvin Banks. So we're going to give him a 6-year, $190. What's more? It might take $200 million to get him across the line, but we have so much salary cap, and I'm going to gamble. It could be a risky gamble. I want to gamble that we can get this Super Bowl win before it comes time to pay Arch Manning. We'll get Danny Stutzman, who's the Demario Davis successor, locked in for a 4-year deal. I'll bring back Kyrie Elam on a 1-year, just kind of a rental stopgap until I can draft maybe a more upside corner. 6 years, $195 million. Congrats to Kelvin Banks and his agent for driving a hard bargain. And we're going to bring back Jonas Anker on a 4-year, $45 million. So that initial rookie class for the Saints that we started this video in, a lot of the top dogs got themselves a nice contract extension with the team and have developed nicely. Now, I will say, going into the bye week, 3-4. But we have a 2-game win streak, and we have the #1 passing yard offense, so at least Arch Manning's popping off. Now, unfortunately, we're 5-5. Kind of still feels like we're on our way to a middle-of-the-mall type season, but we beat the Chiefs in the sim, so that's something to put your hat on, feel proud about. Progress. That's what we want to see. Big divisional win, Week 14 over the Falcons with an Arch Manning Player of the Week performance. 4 touchdowns, getting it done on the ground and through the air. Update his hooks. Corner looked pretty decent for us. Gets his 10 PBUs, which is 15,000 XP. Gets his 75 tackles, which is 15,000 XP. Gets 5 picks, which is 15,000 XP. And he has 8 skill points right now. I did just focus scout corner. I probably need another corner as well. But we got a starter right here, ladies and gentlemen. Very similar vibes to Sanker way back in year 1 from that first class. Get the young guy on the field. See if he can make the most of his opportunity, and that's exactly what's happening. So at the end of year number 4, we get our first above 500 season as we go 10-7, and we get to host a wildcard playoff game against the Dallas Cowboys. Take a look at the offense, top 10 in points, top 5 in passing, top 10 in passing yards against. Overall, everything is good. Offense, defense, very happy with that. We win the NFC South, so our first divisional title had the tiebreaker over Tampa. Got to wonder if that season finale, it had to be. That 23 points was not enough. Our 32 points propelled us over the Bucks in the regular season finale to get our first divisional title. Taking a look at our stats here, Arch Manning was top 5 in yards, top 10 in touchdowns. 15 picks is a little high. I'd like to see that shaved down a little bit. But over 30 passing touchdowns, feel pretty good about that. Jeremiah Love, 1,200 yards, 7 rushing touchdowns. That's pretty sick. Arch Manning, almost 500 yards on the ground, and another 6 touchdowns. Now, the 16 fumbles is insane, but that gives him almost 5,000 yards and 38 touchdowns. That's a hell of a year, too, for the kid, to be honest with you. Chris Olave was dominant, 98 catches, 1,500 yards, 15 touchdowns, 9-4 for Jacoby Lane, 9-4 for the tight end injuries. That should be, he's on that start. That is absolutely going to be top 5 numbers for a tight end. He could get a dev trade. I almost would expect him to get a dev trade. We're getting a little bit more out of Jeremiah Love as a receiver. He chips in another 400 yards, 5 touchdowns, giving him 1,600 on the season yards and double-digit touchdowns. Defensively, Stutzman takes over that role as our tackle machine from Demario Davis. Aiden Fisher from Indiana also had a hell of a year. We got 15 sacks on 20 TFLs for Brian Breezy, 22 TFLs, 10.5 sacks for Orange, 29 TFLs, 4.5 sacks for Sutton. And then Cam Lawrence, our rookie out of Texas. 52 tackles, 16 TFLs, 3.5 sacks. Not bad. He's superstar dev, so that's really not bad. Very happy with that role. But maybe the story of the year is our 4th-round corner, DeMarco Hooks, finishing the season 107 tackles, 8 interceptions for the rookie out of Wake Forest. Was he a 4th-round pick? 3rd-round pick. Correction. But that is insane. And Hooks ends up winning not just Defensive Rookie of the Year, but outright the best defensive back in the NFL. In our first matchup here in the playoffs against the Dallas Cowboys, tough assignment, but beatable. Especially considering we are the home team, but unfortunately coming out a little flat. A little bit of a rough go for our first playoff experience. 0-1, losing to the Cowboys 24-17. Arch Manning, DJ Lagway's the man under center there. No more Dak Prescott. I would actually hate that scenario as an Eagle and Gator fan. But take a look. I mean, Arch Manning in a playoff debut, not brutal. Protected the football. No interceptions. Our run game was stifled. Our pass game outside of Olave wasn't anything special. Our defense only had 2 sacks. I mean, our D tackles, that 1-2 punch is incredible. If we can get our 2 edge rushers to play a little bit better, I think sky could be the limit for this defense. Elam gets the lone interception, but we're going to have to go to at least year 5 to get our first playoff win of this rebuild. And, you know, the rules, the traditional. Try to get your Super Bowl within 5 years. I think we're going to be going to overtime here in this rebuild. Years 6 through 10 for the Saints team. Now, I'm not usually one to interject. I actually don't think I've done this at all in any of my rebuilds this season. And I usually see it in the comments going, C4, just correct the wrong. It makes no sense. So DeMarco Hooks, star dev. Breakout season. However, when you look at it, he got a star dev based off of his stats. He got superstar dev based off of Defensive Rookie of the Year. And then they just take away one of his dev traits for no good reason. So I think this will be one of the rare times that it is literally broken, the fact that his dev trait got stolen away from him. So we are going to give him his rightful superstar dev trait for having that ridiculous of a season. So looking at our dev traits, hopefully there's no robberies like our corner. I actually think there was. On the offensive side, injuries, I think for a tight end. Probably not too many tight ends that put up almost 1,000 yards on 80 catches. I thought that was going to be an automatic slam dunk. No dev trait for him, unless he got it and they stole it away, which can't happen. No dev traits there. But Chris Olave, our wide receiver 1, pretty much like the only good, you know. Fuaga, McCoy, Banks, and Olave were kind of like the 3, like, all right, we got those pieces. Should be here by the time this team gets good. And dope for Olave after a ridiculous campaign to now be a superstar X Factor. On the defensive side of the ball, had to, you know, rightfully keep Hooks as a superstar dev. We gained a superstar dev on Dennis Sutton. We lose the superstar dev on Lawrence, our pass rusher. Why are we getting robbed? That is unbelievable. That means technically, after this season, Lawrence and Hooks, superstar devs, both got stolen away, which is an absolute robbery. At least in this case, Lawrence loses his superstar, but Dennis Sutton gains his. And the fact that he's a real player, you know, kind of breaking even there. Only thing I'd even remotely consider for free agency this year is wide receiver. I got a lot of money. There was a good one. I mean, you could bring back Butte to Louisiana, but for the most part, unless you want to go get Matthew Golden, which I'm not over the moon about, we'll just keep, you know, waiting for it's time to pay Arch Manning, I guess. Now, I could be wrong, and this might not age the best, but I found 3 outstanding options for, like, C4, how do you find your gems? Well, I need wide receiver and corner. And I was like, all right, what do we got at wide receiver? Who's standing out? Well, both Cam Holt at 6'4", 232, and Leon Atkins at 6'3", 210, they ran 4.4s. They both have B catching, A catching. A catch and Travis Holt. So like, oh, A spectacular catch, A spectacular catch. So the more you go, like, oh, fast, height, weight, speed, and great attributes. So those are easily 2 guys I want a little more info on. I did set my focus scouting this year for corner. We fully scout a top 5 player in Julius Bonds, 5'10", 201, which is insane. So then the next thing I would like, all right, well, we got one more spot. Look at that man. So we got B-man, B-zone here. That looks pretty good. Got AC for Staley, not bad. Look all the way down here. Double B on Caver. But you got an A and a B on Sterling McLeod from Penn State. So I kind of feel like this is 3 super obvious, outstanding steal players. And let's see as we sim here if that's the case. Now, I'm not saying all these guys are going to be top 5 talents, but I'd be very surprised if there's not at least perceived value there. So look at that corner. We got top 5 hot pods. And McLeod is top 5. Okay, and then what do we have for those 2 freak of nature wide receivers? Wide receivers can be a little bit more unpredictable, and look at that. They're both hits. First, second round talents. Cam Holt, want him. 6'4", 230, A catch traffic, B catching, B deep route running, ran a 4.4, elite jumping. We got our board set. So I picked 24, knowing that we have 2 legitimate wide receiver ones, 2 freak of nature corners on the board. Unfortunately, the first corner that I wanted is gone. I'm confident that second corner would still be there in the second round. Looking at the wideouts, I think here's where we go wide out first. Cam Holt, 27 at 24, dev trait, smash, huge hit. Second round, the wide receivers, oh man, that corner's gone. I'm going to be so pissed for not trading. He's still there. There we go, top 5, Sterling McLeod. Now the combine might let him down. I mean, the combine's not bad. Elite acceleration, great agility, but not a freak. So there's a chance he's a high rating, no dev trait versus the other. Well, look at that. There's number 3 in true value at 56. And he has the dev trait, but I definitely want to go look at that other corner that we scouted that was top 5 just to compare. Ooh, got another one. Third round, I just went Keith Rucker. He had a tackle, and he ran a 4.5. Elite speed, elite acceleration. Ends up being 43 in true value at 88. Dev trait, 90 acceleration, 87 speed, great strength out of Alabama, and gives us, a little bit more upside in our linebacking room. Now take a look at our draft recap. Cam Holt, 74 with a dev trait. McLeod, 77 with a dev trait. Rucker, 73 with a dev trait. Got a 69 running back. A 70 DN here. Brett Lewis out of Penn State. Penn State's been good to us in this rebuild. Dennis Sutton, just going to a superstar. So all in all, a very, very good class. But I got to go peep that other corner. An 81 guard. Wow. Interesting. And we got... Where's the LSU corner? Wasn't Alexander. This guy. Julius Bonds. There's always one. There's always one top 5 guy, normal dev. It worked out well for us. Usually it's the opposite. We get the guy with the normal dev trait. Also doesn't matter with the way this game is robbing us of dev traits. It's almost like, oh, cool. We got hidden devs. Can't wait for that to get stolen away for us. Now here we are in year 5. This is usually the point in our rebuilds that we feel real optimistic that we're going to go on and win a Super Bowl, or at least compete for a Super Bowl. Unfortunately, I haven't had that same kind of success here with the Saints. Last year, a little bit better at 10-7, winning the division. But we have yet to get a playoff victory, and even me being optimistic, I don't know if with 0 playoff wins, if year 5 is going to be the year that we just go Cinderella run and have all of our playoff success in one season. But you look at this team from an offensive line standpoint, we probably the best tackle combo in the league. There's no weakness on this offense, and we just got a 6'4", 230-pound freak of nature in the draft class that can hopefully take this offense over the top. Defensively, again, just no real weakness. The D-line is very solid. Our D tackles, production-wise, might be as good as any team in the league. Linebacking core is solid. Safety room is solid. Corner room is solid. We have the best young corner in the NFL after last season. Not too many times a rookie comes in and gets interceptions the way that Hooks got his picks. That gets the accolades that Hooks gets as a 3rd-round pick. He's taking the league by storm. We went out and got an absolute baller in the draft as well. I mean, we crushed the draft. Absolutely crushed it. And then above all, we got Arch Manning as our quarterback. And you know what, this year, maybe this will be what makes the little bit difference. Going to put the C on his chest and say it's year 5. We want to get this rebuild done, successful under old school rules. You'll find a way here in year 5 to get us our Super Bowl. At the halfway point, no strong vibes one way or another. We are 3-3. It's kind of felt like we beat the teams we're supposed to beat, lose against the teams that you'd probably see in the playoffs. But a win over the Patriots with a player of the week performance from maybe the big dog, the biggest of all the big dogs on our defense, Brian Brzee. Let's see if that can spark a second half That will at least secure us a playoff spot. Like, again, I don't think, based off what we're seeing, we're going to be overly dominant this year, but we're definitely going to be, in the playoff hunt. And we're going to start, we have Mr. Orange. We'll get him on a 4-year, 103, probably 105. We'll get that contract done. I usually would say not pay the running back, but when you have so much salary cap, I'm going to pay. I honestly think I could pay pretty much every. Look at this. Dennis Sutton looking for just under $60 million. Probably 60. We'll get that one across the line, but very reasonable contract for a superstar pass rusher. Holy shit, we beat our first kind of playoff team, the Buffalo Bills. They were 5-2, 24-22. We knocked them down a peg with Hooks, the best young DB in the league. 9 tackles, a pick, a forced fumble, and 2 fumbling recoveries. Let's go back to our contracts here. 1, 2, 3. We'll round those deals up. 4 years, 60, done. I think Orange, 104, done. Let's go, fellas. This is why I want to see. Going on a little bit of win streak. Beat Detroit, playoff team. Beat the Cardinals. Not so much, but we beat the Cardinals good enough that Arch Manning gets a Player of the Week performance, so that gets his confidence up. He's kind of had a middle of the mall season till this point. And oh yeah, baby, we are firing on all cylinders. Got a breakout scenario here. We got a 4-game win streak. Another Arch Manning Player of the Week. We're rolling. We got a huge regular season finale. We just beat the Bucs 2 weeks ago. We just demolished the Bears. A 5-touchdown performance from Arch Manning. But the regular season finale between us and the Bucs is for the division. 10-6 Bucs, 11-5 Saints. I don't know if we'd have enough tiebreakers that if all records are equal. And we unfortunately got smashed. And there you go. That's fucking brutal way to end the season. And taking a look at our stats this season, I mean, also kind of fall in line with meh. Passing yards are fine, but 25 touchdowns, 18 picks. I'm waiting for Arch Manning to start playing like an MVP. Start playing like a generational player. He's kind of Trevor Lawrence 2.0. Talented player, just not really putting it all together. Jeremiah Love was awesome. And I mean, again, when you combine Arch's rushing with his passing, it does definitely look a little bit better. Receiving, Chris Olave, 1,300 yards, 7 touchdowns. Injuries, another big time year, another chance to get off that start up to superstar. I mean, his stats have got to be right up there with the best tight ends in the NFL. Lane was solid. The rookie Cam Holt was solid. Just a start ev, unfortunately, for our freak of nature wide receiver. And on the defensive side of the ball, tackles are looking good. 15 sacks, Brian Breezy on 19 TFLs. 20 TFLs, 6.5 sacks, Orange. Pass rush, though, man. Just can't get sacks going. And I mean, luckily, in the eyes of this game, a lot of times it will factor in your TFLs, which I mean, it should. But just really weird. This might be the first defensive scheme I've seen where the D tackles. What is our defense? So I think we're running 49ers defense, right? The Brandon Staley defense. The D tackles are getting all the work, which is kind of weird. The rookie Sterling McLeod at corner with 6 picks, 4 for Justin Reed, 3 from DeMarco Hooks. McLeod was a hidden dev, and it's a star, but you know what? With 6 picks like that, we could have a repeat of what we had last season of a dev trade increase on our baller DB. He ends up being our only award winner, winning Defensive Rookie of the Year. Always close, no cigar, runner-up for Offensive Rookie of the Year. Still a very nice campaign. So in the first round of the playoffs, we are on the road against the 11-6 Minnesota Vikings, who are pretty damn good. I mean, both these teams are nearly identical. We're both all good at the same things. They have Jahmyr Gibbs, Justin Jefferson. We do not. But we have a better team. Let's go. 27-17. The Saints get this one, and it's Brian Breezy. 4 tackles, 2 sacks, a bunch of other stuff, and a touchdown. Doing it all himself. And we continue as the Road Dogs against the 12-5 Dallas Cowboys, who are not as good as us, but they have a pretty good defense. You look at the rankings. Again, pretty similar to that Vikings matchup. We're all kind of just good at the same things. We'll see if that works out. The Road Dogs can continue. The Saints are going on a little bit of a Cinderella run as we are in the NFC Championship game against the 13-4 San Francisco 49ers. Our defense playing out of their minds. 2 picks by Hooks. What are the Niners looking like? They have the number 1 offense. The number 3 rushing offense. Pretty terrible pass, literally the worst pass defense. But they're good at stopping the run. Okay, well, a lot of upgrade players. Come on, Arch. Arch Manning, 92 overall. Give me something. Give me the Cinderella run. Come on. Come on. God damn it! You get offensive. I mean, it almost should be illegal to get offensive player of the week and then you still lose. 27-23. Fucking Arch Manning! Bust! What is that? As we close out the season, as far as dev traits are concerned, no one up or down. Really, the only guy that I was anticipating maybe going up was the tight end. He just can't buy. I guess he has to get 1,000 yards to get a look at going up to a superstar dev. On the defensive side, McLeod, our defensive rookie of the year, superstar dev. So that is back-to-back years we've added a star at corner and developed them into a superstar immediately by the end of their rookie campaign. I mean, this team is, you know, outside of like our DNs not getting sacks, which is very annoying, but our D tackles are also putting up like elite sack numbers. So like it's an effort. It's a collective effort. I mean, we're going into this offseason. We're going to need Fisher's hitting free agency, but we just have Whit Weeks step up there. So we probably want someone to succeed Justin Reed at safety. But even then, if I can't replace him, it is what it is. And offensively, we're not losing anybody. So it's annoying that we couldn't get it done in year 5. So depending on if you are a traditionalist, this is an L. But we're going to go to overtime here, and I'd be surprised. Year 6, maybe year 7. Our salary cap's in a really good spot. We're already on paper probably the best team in the league. We should be able to get it done. We're going to decline the 5th-year option for Arch Manning. I mean, I don't know, dude. I didn't want to pay $70 million, but I also don't want to pay him $360 at this point. He hasn't done anything. We are going to let Justin Reed walk just to see if we can get an upgrade there at safety. And of course, when we look at safeties, all old, sick. Yeah, that's what we wanted. Yeah. And then on top of that, I scouted, like final scouted, the top safeties in this class. And when I saw double C, I saw it before I even focus scouted him. Oh, great. One of the easiers, huh? He has A catching, A tackle, A hit back. So he's a tackling free safety. Not really what I want schematically. And then on the other side, we have Steve Shepard. Steve Shepard's the only legit first-round safety. So that's who we want. Where's he going in the mock drafts? We are picking at 30. I bet you Steve... Oh, he's going right ahead. Okay. Well, how about this? Houston Texans, give me your pick, and I will prevent you from drafting a UDFA guy that I fully scouted. Deal? I'm going to not only save the Texans from drafting a bust, I'm going to give them a free 4th-round pick for just letting us leapfrog a divisional rival. Like, that's playing 40 chess for them. Like, all right, so you want who the Titans want? All right, we'll do that business. And for us, it is going to allow us at our biggest position of need to get Steve Shepard, 36 and 28, and of course he sucks anyway. So, of course, can't have nice things. But he's going to start, and with our success rate of our last couple rookie DBs, I wouldn't be surprised he has 7-8 picks. Now looking at our draft recap, Shepard 74 was a little bit of a wet fire with no dev trait, but 74 at pick 28 is not brutal value. We got 2 hidden dev players in Dylan Barnett at center out of Clemson. Just Eric McCoy is getting up there in age just a little bit. He is the veteran of the O-line. So depending on how long this goes, it's good to have a successor. And then we got just an absolute flyer. Tell you right now, A run block still works every now and again. In past Maddens, this is almost an X factor every single time. But I just got to look. A run block, hidden dev. If it's just a start, I mean, he's not going to play. So, ladies and gentlemen, when you get elite strength A run block tight ends, it still works. Every now and again, you will get your X factor. In previous Maddens, like even last year's Madden, it was like a 90% hit rate. A run block, elite strength, they were good. If they had a dev trait, it was an X factor. There we go. So into year 6, finally like a decent record at midseason. It only took us 6 goddamn years. We are 6-2. Got some nice wins here. Contracts, well, here we go. Rip the Band-Aid off. $360-some million for Arch Manning. We kind of need to commit there. And for the first time this whole rebuild, Our salary cap does not look the best. Andrew's been almost 1,000-yard tight end. Got to get him signed on. Lane's probably replaceable, even though he's one of our, draft guys. We got Holt, our tight end's kind of our second option anyway, and Olave's clearly the big dog. So understanding that we're now at a point in time in this rebuild, we can't pay everybody. I think a 1 year for Ruiz is not bad. That's just one less position I have to worry about. Any veterans looking for a payday? No, for the most part. All right, we're looking good. $43 million remaining after the Arch Manning contract. I actually thought it's probably going to be a little worse. And then if you're number 6, get enough to punch our ticket. Not a great record, probably, for how good our team is. 10-7, a little light, but we do get our second divisional title of the rebuild, having the tiebreaker over the Bucks, who we may run into eventually in the playoffs. Take a look at the stats. Arch Manning, yards were a little bit off where he was, but 37 touchdowns was very good, 7 picks. So finally, even though we gave him money before we saw the product to deserve like a $300 and whatever it was million contract, there we go. This is more what I want to see. Our run game was on point with Love. Arch with under 8 rushing touchdowns, so that gave him, into the 40s, which is awesome. Olave continues to crush it. 1,300 yards, 19 touchdowns is insane. Look at Love. I was like, all right, everyone here kind of receivers, rest of them, a little bit disappointing season. Then our running back, 500 yards, another 7 touchdowns, so 14. Man, Love killed it. That's what I love to see. Pun intended, almost 200 tackles from Aiden Fisher. We got 33 TFLs, 12 sacks from Raj. Brian Breezy killed it. Again, our edge rushers just take the combined vibes of TFLs and sacks, and we're real happy with how these guys are playing. The rookie, Steve Shepard, 139 tackles. TFL led the team with 4 picks. That's what we do. Hooks and McLeod, 3 straight years, our rookie DBs crushed it. And Shepard, who was a 74 normal, ends his rookie campaign as an 82, 84 with the boost. And I think there's a chance there for him. That minimum will get a dev trait, if not a double dev trait. Wow, Arch Manning, runner-up for league MVP. We get defensive rookie of the year. What, 3rd? So that means our only award winner was Arch Manning getting quarterback of the year, but that makes you feel pretty good. The year, a couple weeks after giving him an insane contract extension, he's now playing like one of the best QBs in the league. So in the first round of the playoffs, we get the 11-6 Cardinals. Not bad, 87s across the board, but when you look at the stats, nothing about them's too special. I don't love the fact that we have the worst pass yards allowed in the NFL. But hopefully that doesn't show up in the playoffs, as we at least get another victory. 23-21, very, very small margin of said victory. But a victory nonetheless. Where, man, why does he play like dog shit in the playoffs? Like, you're getting outdueled by Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold's cooking us. We got Arch Manning, struggling the way he is. Luckily, our defense popped off. 2 sacks, Breezy. Got a couple pass rush points there. Not bad. Wish it was a little more sweat-free. Kind of sweat that one out near the end. Last year, we were the Road Dogs. Going on it crashed and burned in the end, but we went 2-1 in our playoff run all on the road. This year, we are the Home Dogs. Because that's a pretty damn good Bears team. I imagine they would be favorites as the road team. We'll auto-upgrade our players to make sure we get the best chance possible. Somehow defeating the sim, and it goes to Mr. Lawrence, our pass rusher, who was once a superstar and got wrongfully ripped away from him by the sim. And then we go another by the skin of our team. And we get the Bucks. They couldn't have written that any better to go to the Super Bowl. But look at that against the Bears. I actually think we've beat the Bears almost every time we've played them. Anytime I've seen them in the schedule, we have been able to beat them. And it's, again, Arch Manning. Just what are we talking about here, dude? 1 touchdown, 2 picks. I guess he went 2 for 2 with the rushing tud. What a game from Chris Olave. 158 yards and a touchdown. Couple sacks there. Nothing too crazy. But wow, what a matchup. On the other side, there's no Kansas City. There's no Baltimore Ravens, Bengals, Patriots. 2 teams you could live with, if that's who you find yourself in the Super Bowl with. But we can't even look that far. Our quarterback's playing like dog shit. And to be fair, like, our defense is playing fine. Like, we're not lighting the scoreboard up with sacks. We're not lighting the scoreboard up with turnovers. Our run game's been kind of consistent. But, like, a kind of consistent run game isn't going to be what gets you to a freaking Super Bowl. Because I know for sure shit, the Bengals and Joe Burrow are probably the #1 passing offense in the league. So you look at us, you look at the Bucks. 2 teams that want to run the football. The #2 defense from Tampa. The #2 offense for New Orleans. I don't know. Honestly, with Arch Manning playing the way he is, my expectations are, I don't want to be doom and gloom. I think we should win. I'm going to say we lose. Arch Manning does nothing. And we got to... Fuck, Oh, we lost? No, we won 40 points. Let's go. Let's go for Super Bowl. And it's the running back. I guarantee 4 touchdowns, Jeremiah Love, as a runner, as a receiver, giving us that Alvin Kamara aura. And a 40 ball. That is what I want to see. Arch Manning, 4 touchdowns, no picks. Roasted him this whole playoff run for being a bust, being a jobber. And there you go, man. When the moment's brightest, kills it. That, man. Jeremiah Love. What a pick, dude. Being like, at that point in time in the rebuild, I remember, like, do we get Alvin Kamara's successor here? We scouted Jeremiah Love. He's a top 5 talent. He fell to the 2nd round. Do we aggressive and trade up and get him? So, you know what? Let's do it. So why? Look at that. The 2 corners we've drafted and developed into superstars. It's like a greatest hits game right there to make the Super Bowl. Everybody playing their best. And the Super Bowl has been set. The 10-7 Saints against the 11-6, 85 overall Patriots. So we are 5 overall points better when you look at the tail of the tape. I mean, offensively, we're pretty comparable. Defensively, advantage to the Patriots. Let's see. I want to, like, what's Drake May? 90s? 99? 96 for May. 99 for Travion Henderson. They got Demario Douglas, Quentin Johnson. So, like, a solid wide receiver room. Darnell Washington. All-line Will Campbell's into the 90s. Across the board, pretty solid offense. Because the Patriots are on the short list. I've seen them in the comments for you guys want me to rebuild them. So I do want to get a little sneak peek of what I could have in store. Milton Williams is still killing it. Got Tyleek Williams. Got a superstar pass rusher. Got Trenton Simpson in free agency. Braden Swinson, a.k.a. the guy I was just screaming for the Eagles to draft on day 3 of the NFL draft every single time. Gonzalez is one of the best corners in the NFL. You get Mansour Delane, who we had in our last rebuild, and he was very good in our Titans rebuild. He was like 4 or 5 picks every single year. Okay, 2 superstars. I mean, that's a damn good team right there. But push comes to shove, when you have 5 overall point advantage on your opponent, you got to be winning that Super Bowl. All right, let's go, baby. Year 6. It's year 6. So I can hop in guilt-free. We're in overtime. I'd rather not, but if things get a little too bullshitty and you say I got to hop on 6th Arch Manning again, it's exactly what I will do. Opening score, sorry. 2nd drive goes to the Saints, but a great response by Drake May and the Patriots, walking their way downfield. Touchdown. For us, scores. Get a defensive stand. Oh, baby, touchdown here. We're laughing. 3rd down. I really want to hop in, but when we're winning like this, if I can get out with a Super Bowl win without me winning, it gets rid of those people in the comments saying you cheesed it. But this will be a pivotal moment because this is a field goal or 0 points. I bet you if I hop in, I'm getting a touchdown and we're going into halftime up 21-7. And we get it anyway! Let's go. Patriots go for it on 4th down to get the touchdown. We respond right away. Not a lot of defense being shown here. It looks like the Patriots are on their way. Oh my God. Touchdown, instant score, insta field goal, 35-24. I'm going to say 35-24 with 4 minutes to go and we're in the red zone. This feels like a guilt-free, let's come in and just score. Yeah, it's not garbage time, but like at minimum, we're likely getting a field goal that will put this game out of reach. So I kind of feel like this is a guilt-free drive. Boom, we're going to go right here out of the backfield to who else? Jeremiah Love, or Alvin Kamara 2.0. The man that is the reason why we are in the Super Bowl. And look, they're good. It's over. Wouldn't have mattered anyway. Belt to ass. It took an extra year. Would have been excellent to get this done in year 5. But we have to go to overtime and go to year 6 and absolutely belt to bottom the New England Patriots. Can we call it almost like a 50 bomb? They had 49 points in a Super Bowl. Suck it, Milton Williams. Suck it. Never should have left Philly, bud, if you want another ring. And Arch Manning pulls like the anti-Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning took years of Peyton Manning just padding his stats in the regular season before he finally became good in the playoffs. Arch Manning gets it done what, year 4? I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It took Arch 5 years to get done, and 5 is also the magical number of his touchdowns in the Super Bowl as he cakewalks to Super Bowl MVP. So now, as we always like to do, once we win our Super Bowl, let's take a look at our player stats and what they were able to accomplish and just how damn good they were in our rebuild through 4 seasons. Sorry, not 5. So at the end of the Super Bowl, we were popping bottles. Got my numbers messed up. Through 4 years, Arch Manning, 16,000 yards passing, 116 touchdowns and 54 picks. I bet you clicking on this video, I bet me thinking that this could be a scenario in this video that Arch Manning was going to like be 40-plus touchdown, like the League on Fire, be the next, live up to the hype, the generational hype. But the fact of the matter is, until this year, he was like Trevor Lawrence 2.0, immensely talented quarterback. I mean, I like to think our team's a little bit better than what like Trevor Lawrence has been working with the Jags. But I mean, in terms of just hype, going into like year 4, Arch Manning, we're still like, I don't know if he's good or not. Is he good? Feel like he should be good, but is he really good? Hasn't really proved it. That was kind of Arch Manning, and then he just goes on and has 9 touchdowns in the final 2 games of the regular season. Or in the postseason, the final 2 season games in the NFC Championship and in the Super Bowl. So I think all said and done, very good. Jeremiah Love was incredible. 5,500 yards and 40 touchdowns. Arch Manning gave us some night. Because, I mean, at the bottom of the line here is that Arch Manning, maybe a little bit of a miscast. We are using the Kellen Moore offense, so it's the Philadelphia Eagles offense. So we kind of think like Jalen Hurts play style. Will that translate to Arch Manning? He was sick outside of the 43 fumbles, which was pretty disgusting. From a receiving standpoint, we got over 10K for Chris Olave, as well as 68 touchdowns, 3,200 yards, 13 tutties for Endries, who was solid. Lane was a solid role play type guy, role player, dressing up like a cop, doing dirty things, you know what I'm saying? 1,500 yards, 15 touchdowns for Jeremiah Love. Defensively, Jonas Sanker, not bad for, what was he, a 3rd, 4th round pick, over 700 tackles, staying with Stutzman. We got 71.5 sacks on 167 TFLs for Breezy, over 100 TFLs for Orange, and 41.5 sacks. These 2 D tackles were incredible. Dennis Sutton had a really nice career, insane at TFL numbers. And from a pick standpoint, I mean, just love the fact that Hooks, I mean, outside of the fact that they robbed him of a superstar dev, we had to manually go give it back. I mean, the success story of Saints drafting DBs, that was pretty badass. One of my favorite things of this rebuild. So that is our Madden 25 offseason rebuild of the Saints. Up and down. It's like a roller coaster in this video. We start with Tyler Shough. You know the vibes right now for Saint fans. Not loving it, right? And then out of nowhere, he wins Offensive Rookie of the Year. Then I go, okay, interesting. And then year 2, he throws more turnovers, more interceptions, then touchdowns. I was like, oh, this sucks. So we sell him when we could, while there's still some value. We get Arch Manning, who might be like the dream quarterback from all levels. Obviously, the Manning name is Arch E. Manning. Saints back in, like, what was it, 70s? Coming back home, Louisiana. You know, all those things. We get him. Again, kind of like Trevor Lawrence. High expectations, kind of falling below that. And in the end, puts it all together for a hell of a playoff run. And we get out of here with a Super Bowl ring in year 6. So with that being said, fellas, please let me know in the comment section below which team we should be rebuilding next for our newest Madden 25 offseason rebuild. From the last couple videos, teams like I've seen a lot of Patriots. I've seen some Seahawks. Those are kind of like the 2 that I remember a lot. But if there's any other team you guys want to see, please let me know in the comment section below. The most requested, most upvoted that I see will, kind of move up the queue a little bit. I've seen a lot of people also say C4, when we just got to do Philly. Can we just win 5 Super Bowls in a row? That will be coming eventually. I can't wait for that one, honestly. But if it is your first time stopping by, don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button. Smash the like button if you enjoyed. And until next time, it's your boy C4. Say peace, I love you. Have a good one.